so that every town has the opportunity to voice their concerns, voice their issues, their recommendations, so that we are successful and vibrant and committed, and that our quality of life is just like the rest of the state. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Debbie, can you share what position you're running for?
I almost forgot. I am running for state representative of the 38th district, of which part of University Park is part of, but there are 14 towns. And I am doing it because the current representative is retiring, Al Riley. And so it is in essence an open seat, but I believe that I have the experience and certainly the involvement and the commitment in the Southland. Former mayor of Olympia Fields for 7 years and trustee for 10 years. I currently work for the state treasurer's office in community affairs, but I started off working with Business Invest, and I traveled from Quincy to Lake Zurich working with small businesses, because we know small business create over 85% of the jobs in the United States. So we must pay attention to our small business owners and make sure that we support them in their efforts to be successful. But I'm very happy to be running for state representative, and certainly ask for everyone's support on March 20th, just as you, because it is a long, committed journey. But I know at the end of the day that we all will benefit from the wonderful people who are running for the positions.
Quick thing, right?
State representative.
March 52.
This is the thing that, I'm sorry, what she said?
March 52.
Yes, point 52, she said. My question, let me get in here. Debbie, I know we worked many years together, and it was hard. I would like to, just to let the people know, as a mayor in Olympia Fields, which is high end, and the area as far as finances, it was it was so difficult for us to even attract businesses. So I want you to share what we went through. We had one booth that we shared, and we went there. What was that company that said that they wouldn't even entertain the thought of coming?
The Cheesecake Factory.
Yes. We went there collectively. Go ahead.
So we met with Cheesecake Factory, and certainly they are always looking for malls in particular. But we met with them, asking them to come to one of our towns. It didn't, didn't have to be all of our towns, but one of our towns, because we support each other regionally. And they were very dismissive when we talked about Lincoln Mall as a mall, or we talked about River Oaks as a mall. Oh, well, you don't have the education level. You don't have the income level. I mean, it was very disheartening to hear that this particular representative of Cheesecake Factory was so dismissive to the Southland and so disrespectful. And I will say that I have not been to Cheesecake Factory since. Just because.
Yes. That's the thing that I'm trying to let you know. That we have gone through when we're trying to attract people. It's just like University Park, we out there, we're hitting it hard, but that's what we get. And that's what we were saying. The one developer that came here said, if you don't like your own town, why should I like to come here and build a business in your town? That's why Mr. Percy Scott was saying, we need to be positive. When we put all that negative out there, they see the same thing. Okay? We have another guest?
Thank you, Mayor. My name is David Bonner. I'm also running for state representative for the 38th District. I've been endorsed by Al Riley and Robin Kelly, the Congresswoman, for this area. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Matteson. I'm a product of Ridge Central High School, of the public schools here. I've lived in Matteson. There you go, Olympian. I've lived in Matteson my whole life, except for when I served in the military. I'm an Army veteran, I'm a captain. I served 2 tours. I'm also an attorney. I work for the Attorney General's office. I represent working families throughout Illinois for Lisa Madigan, doing her labor and employment, making sure that firms pay the prevailing wage and the minimum wage for working folks. I've also worked for the state's attorney. I've worked for Kim Fox. I prosecuted bad cops for misconduct, domestic violence, abuse, and I'm running for state representative because I can no longer sit by and watch sort of the destruction of the state and this nation. We talked about how hard the economic climate is and how hard it is for University Park and Madison. Well, the system is inherently unfair. If you believe you're getting a raw deal, you should vote for me. If you believe that the system has not done enough for you, you should vote for me. Because I'm going to change the system, and I'm going to go down there. This is going to be a 10-year fight that we have to do. We have to be prepared for a fight. Because everything we've worked for, we've bled for, and we've died for is being challenged right now. I remember when Madison had the mall and had businesses, all that's gone right now. And it's all being challenged. And why is it gone? Because the system is unfair. Billionaires and millionaires get tax breaks, and they get tax cuts, and their properties are assessed at a lower value than our properties. What does that mean for you? That means that you're paying into the system to keep their property values, their property assessments low. So, like the Sears Tower, it sold for $1.2 billion, but it was assessed at $565 million. So who made up for that? You did. I did. We need to change that system. We need to get to a fair tax system. We need to have a fair tax system where we are making sure the wealthy are paying a fair share. And right now they're not. Because right now in Illinois, everybody pays 4.9%. Everybody. You, me, Pritzker, King Griffin, who makes $60 million a month, everybody pays 4.9%. What does that mean? That means somebody who makes millions of dollars is not paying into not paying into the system, is not paying their fair weight. That means you and I, we're carrying more of the weight for them. Republican states, Indiana, Wisconsin, Missouri, all have a progressive income tax, which means basically the wealthy pay more. That's common sense, because they have more money to pay into it. But Illinois hasn't done that, and it's been an unfair deal. And it's been unfair even when the Democrats had it. So I'm going to work across the aisles to make sure that we get a fair tax system in here. Because even if we get all the businesses, even if we try to get businesses, the thing that we're going to have trouble getting young folks back into this town is the school systems. Yeah. The school systems will continue to eat us alive if we do not fix it. And why it won't be fixed? Because we're not paying into the system like it should be. The state's only giving 33%. They're supposed to get 50%. So where do they get the money to make up for it? They get it from property taxes. Again, the system is inherently unfair. If you believe that, you need to support me. I have my paper up here, and I'm going to go down there. I'm going to fight for you in Springfield. I'm going to stand up for you in Springfield. I'm going to make sure that we get a fair tax system, that the businesses and the billionaires and the millionaires pay into the system, and that we get a fair shake. Thank you. David Bonner, I'm running for 38th District, State Representative David Bonner, 38th District.
Oh, you're the one that called that Al Raleigh came up with the recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So for
Okay.
the second time, we have about 3 minutes before
Yes.
8, so I definitely want to respect time, but I definitely want to get some resident feedback. Number one reason is I know we heard from the panel, but this is a state of business, and so from a chamber standpoint, I want to hear from the businesses, the administration, but we also want to hear from the community. So
Yes, please.
so we want to have some residents talk about their experience in University Park. That way we can have other stories to tell. I don't want to just talk about the businesses, but as Mr. Bonner just said, we have to talk about the schools, we have to talk about the community, because that whole story is what makes up a community. So,
Yes. Deborah Taylor.
is Deborah Taylor here? Wonderful.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. And I'm not going to hold you long because I know the hours is short right now. We'll just a few minutes. But I know you looked at your agenda, you saw there Mr. Taylor. And I'm obviously not Mr. Taylor. That's my husband. So just add an S onto the Mr. and you'll get Mrs. Taylor. Okay? All right. But what I really want to say, first of all, was thank you. I wanted to thank Mr. Scott. I don't know how this whole thing about Chambers 57, all that started. This is all brand new to me, but I'm so glad to know that we are now connecting, and maybe we've been connected all along, but I just didn't know it. But collaboration, I think that, I can't speak for all the residents, but I truly think it's just common sense for us to collaborate. Collaboration is the way to go in the region. The more we collaborate, the more communities we get together in the suburbs, the more power we have, and we become a South suburban powerhouse. And that's what we need to do to be able to have our voices heard. So thank you for that. The regional concept is going to also allow us to get together and not just have.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Yeah.
Before he leaves, Mayor Pope,
Oh, there's another year.
yeah, I would like Mayor Pope to say something just before he leaves
Okay.
on what this means and what we've been doing together, if you don't mind, right, please. Mayor Pope?
Go, you can finish.
Okay, he'll stay, good, okay, we'll hold him hostage. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor Paul. All right, so I was just simply saying that most of our needs are the same. I've actually worked in quite a few of the communities that you have listed on Chamber 57. So therefore, you know, I, even as a resident, because I've worked there, I'm familiar with many of the needs in Michigan Park, in Park Forest, University Park, and Olympic Fields. I've worked with many of the young people there, as well as their parents. So, you know, I hear and I know, and also what the young man was saying about the visibility, I see the things in the places disappearing. I've been here since the University Park since 1987. I came here when I was 26 years old. By the silver, you can tell I've been here a long time. So I've seen things come and I've seen things go. And so what we want to do is, you know, collectively get together here because, as he was saying, it is unfair. It's unfair, and we need to get together collectively and collaborate and put our minds together to come up with a solid South suburban mission and vision. And I think that people, when they get the vision and it's a solid vision, then the scripture says they can run with it. And so we want to thank you all for coming out and for everything that you do. And for those who are running for office, you know, we're already saying that if you want to be there, then you're there. And we thank you for your service in advance. And also, I wanted to say one last thing. I know in connecting everyone together, they used to have something a long time ago, Hands Across the South Plan. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but that was one way, when we talk about regions, that was one way, it was like a human chain that they did once a year. And it was a way of connectivity, connecting all of the stakeholders. They would come out, and it was powerful to see. And so that may be something that we can rethink as we build this and bring all the people in the community out, young people, you know, and not so young people, and, you know, together to brainstorm and to collaborate and to come up with some ideas as to how to move our South suburbs forward. So we thank you, and we hope to have this opportunity again. So thank you.
Mayor Pope.
Well, good evening, and I'm glad you invited me there, Board of Trustees and community. I didn't come only prepared to speak, but nevertheless, there seem to be a lot of good things happening in your community, and I'm very proud and elated to hear that. And we certainly wish you good success and the development throughout the Southland. And I did not know about this Soul Bacon restaurant, so I have more knowledge now than I did when I came in. I was certainly check that out. And we have a couple of spaces in Burnham that we're going to try to do some economic development as well. And so we might need to use some of your resources. So we thank you again and good luck to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So at this time, we want to talk about some of the things that the Chamber is doing to bring the business community together, some of the opportunities that we have. And at this time, I want to bring one of our board members, Ms. Kiana Barber, to speak about some opportunities for business growth.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
I'll keep it pretty brief. Like Percy said, we used to be the Matheson Business Association, and we changed about a year and a half ago to Chamber 57. And the reason we did that was because it is a regional approach. So now we represent not only Matheson, but of course, University Park, Olympia Field, Richmond Park, and is it Park Course? I'm sorry about that. So a couple of things. I know it's a lot of residents here. We encourage you to come to our website, chamber57.org. I don't see anybody writing that down. Chamber57.org. We actually promote all of the businesses on there. We talk about discounts, promotions, what the new businesses are coming to town. So we need more resident support. We need the residents, like they said earlier. Retailers pay attention to that. A lot of times we complain about what's leaving the community. A lot of stuff is leaving because they feel like we go other places. So we have to show that we're willing to shop here. And it's a regional approach. So it's definitely about shopping locally, but it's a bigger approach. So we need more people to make sure that they're supporting the businesses. I also encourage people on our emails, mychamber57@gmail.com. I'm sorry, to actually email us about what promotions do you want to see? What type of businesses do you want to see here? So again, it is a dialogue. It's not just a one-sided way. The villagers need to know what type of businesses that we want to come here. So some of the things that we're trying to do as a chamber is more collaborative advertising. So when you see the billboards, we're actually promoting local businesses. Sometimes it's very hard to afford a $3,000 billboard. But if you join us, now we can collaborate and put our dollars together. So those are some of the type of things you want to do. Radio advertising. Because like they said, people from the city should come here. People think, oh, it only has to be local. But if we actually promote more and talk about the amazing businesses that are here, then we can actually get more people. So we're going to do a lot of collaboration. We want to do a business guidebook. But we need to hear from residents of what type of promotions do you want to see? What type of businesses do you want to see here? So it's a lot of good things, so we encourage, and again, everybody to engage with our website, chamber57.org. If you are a business owner, we have applications over there. This is my hard sale to join. I mean, it's very cost effective. We do events every month. We host, again, the state of business in every community, kicking off, here. But, and if you know a business that should join, again, it's all about numbers. So the more powerful we are, we have 200 members. Now we really have buying power. Now we can make more of an impact. So again, that's, that's everything that Chamber 57 is doing. If we got any questions from residents, any type of things about the businesses that are here, I'm definitely welcome any questions. It depends on the level of your business at. So it starts at a home-based business. We just adjusted pricing.
Home-based business, $100, and it goes up to, if you have more than 26 employees, it's $300, and then in between, so between $100 to $300.
Well, just like, so one of the big things that we're trying to do is more collaboration. So you get featured on our website. We send out email blasts. So to everybody, we have business members. We also have a residential list. So you can promote businesses. We promote you on social media as well. You get a fancy decal that we have over there saying that you're a part of Chamber 57. We have events.
I'm sorry. Can I jump in?
Of course.
I get excited about what we get up, so I'm sorry. So you get training because we do seminars once a month. You get networking opportunities. We do a business after hours once a month, every fourth Thursday. You get an opportunity to put your business out on all of the media advertising that we do. So whether it be our website, our social media, we put out e-alerts. I run a marketing company, and so does Kiana. So we give you expert opinions, expert advice for free as our members. Also, you get referrals. Just last week, I had a school, I won't say the district, that was called on that was looking for a financial advisor to do financial training. They received a grant, and they were calling all the way to the north side because they didn't know anybody who did financial advisory. I thought that was crazy. But we have plenty of financial advisors that are members, so we refer our members. So the benefit is, I have a lot of people calling me who need things, and I refer members. You like money? Let me help you.
And we also, Percy has phenomenal relationships. We try to create a dialogue between you and the municipalities. So if you have an issue, you can kind of communicate that with us, since we work with all of the mayors directly to say, hey, I need a little bit more support in my business. So, we kind of,
One example of that is A Fusion Restaurant in Matheson had a very hard time of being visible. They couldn't be, because they can't be seen on the street. They had an issue with the village of getting a sign on the street. They couldn't do it. They called us. I helped them get it done. I won't say I got it done alone, but I helped them get it done. It was done within 3 months. They started making money. So we're your advocate to the village. I think it's safe to say I have the mayor's ear. Is that safe to say? Okay. And we have that with every other village as well. So we want to make sure that we're advocates for business, because sometimes the village is looking out for the village, but it has to be someone who's looking out for that individual business as well. And that's what we do. We're that person that's going to go to war and fight for you, because we want to see businesses in the community. We want to see our residents working, and we want to see our community striving. This is a volunteer service, just so you all know. I'm not a politician, and I'm not running for anything. I don't care about politics from that standpoint. I care about the community. And so we're not here to try to influence you to help me win something. I'm not looking for public office. I'm looking for our communities to be successful. So I just want to be very clear. Our sole goal is to make sure that our region is successful. And we're going to do everything that we possibly can to make sure that that happens. And we ask for your assistance in doing so.
I think Percy closed it out perfect. Any feedback from residents, like anything that you want to see?
Any feedback? Anyone? Don't go on next door. Do it right.
No, please go to next door. Please go to next door and share what you heard today, because I hope that this was encouraging. I hope this was encouraging, because or go next door and say something that you want to see done. And if you want to see something done, say it now so we can get it done. That's the whole purpose of this. I want to make sure that this is we're a resource to the region, but also I want to make sure that if there are issues that we help resolve them, because we can't grow if they're cancers for coming from the inside. So if they're cancers or sores from the inside, we need to get it resolved and fixed, and then so we can all shine and look good. So that's my purpose. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about businesses that should be brick and mortar businesses, but instead there's a lot of businesses that are losing market because everything's going online. How do you address that issue? Are there e-commerce businesses within your chamber as well that can be recognized? Or how do you go about that?
So that's a very good question. A lot of big businesses, especially like in Manchester, are leaving because Amazon is putting them out of business, to be quite honest. They're putting everybody out of business. And so we have to rethink the way that we do business. What we would like to see as a chamber is we're looking for villages and we're looking for companies to come in that are using IT, so technology-based businesses and industrial-type businesses that are using like drones. Drones are going to be the next thing. Everybody's building them. And we'd love to see a drone manufacturing company here in our region because somebody has to build them. So we may not get the Amazon, but we may get the factory that's building the necessary parts that Amazon needs. So that's what we're looking at as a chamber. We have to think out of the box. Those big boxes, the other communities, in 10 years, they're going to be in trouble. I can tell you that right now. I'm glad that those businesses are leaving now so that we can think out of the box and start innovating ourselves so that we can have that opportunity in 5 to 10 years. We will have to change, because if we don't change, we're going to die. So we're definitely going to change in the next 5 to 10 years. They will still be the same. And they'll be in trouble, and then we'll be in the driver's seat if we're smart. If we're smart. And that's why I say that we have to be together, because we have to innovate now.
I'm sorry,
Yes, ma'am.
the brick and mortar buildings that have closed, like all these Walgreens and things like that, what are the plans to put something in there? Are they going to be torn down? Are they going to be used? What are those type of plans for development? Because that's just a blight on the community to have empty buildings.
I agree. And I think that's something that we have to talk to the villages about. Obviously, we don't do that, but we can definitely have those conversations with each village. I think that's a case-by-case basis with the villages, because some villages have plans for it, some may not. But that's definitely something that we can take to the village, and that's a good question that we can have, and put that to the board. Like, okay, what is the plan for these empty buildings? So I appreciate that question.
Yeah, I want to chime in just really quick and say, honestly, because like I said, nobody knew the Amazons of the world were gonna be here 15 years ago. Now you got people are shopping online, so we are a part of the issue. So we have to have a little patience with our villagers to allow them time to respond, because these businesses aren't able to respond. Sam's Club would be closing if they could have responded in time. So I think that, because I'm on next door and I see people complaining, and I think sometimes it's a little one-sided, it's a little skewed, but we don't realize that we'll create these conglomerates, we're creating these huge and massive companies, and they have no other choice but to leave. So we do need to think about, like you said, more innovative ways and other type of businesses, but it's gonna take time.
And the other thing that we need to do as a community is not only shop local, but when you have to go to another community, buy a gift card in your own community. Then you can take that gift card anywhere. And that money stays in home. That money stays in house. So we encourage people to buy gift cards in their own community. Then you can go anywhere. And they're just getting a card. Secondly, don't give everybody your zip code. Every time you go to another community and they say, give me your name, your zip code, and your email, you're justifying a reason why they don't have to come to your community. Because now they have the data that says there are 1,500 people from University Park that shops in Orland Park. So we don't need to be in Orland Park, in University Park, because they come to Orland. They have data to prove why. So don't do it. You can go shop there, but don't give them your information. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So these are the things that, as a chamber, we teach people, we teach businesses how to do, because there's a lot of little things that businesses are doing to make sure that you're not successful. It's intentional.
And still continue to shop small. We like the bigger stores, but the smaller mom and pops, like they employ so many people. I got a printing company, and people ask about Vistaprint all the time. And my first argument is, when you don't see Vistaprint in your community, you're not going to see them on your local board and locally support. So you have these smaller retailers and clothing stores and restaurants, and it's good to shop with them, because when we keep shopping with just the bigger companies, then they leave. You know, and then now we're frustrated, but if you shop small, they're more ingrained in the community. So like I said, I think we're all a part of the solution. So, I'm sorry.
And they go up on the price after they start shopping there, then they go up on the price.
Yeah, because now they're the majority, so you don't have any other competition, so now they can go up on the price.
I have a question about your membership. I question about advertising to employ your new website
Absolutely. Yep, so you get your logo placement on the website, you get links to your actual website. Like I say, you can be included in our email blast, so if you have anything from an opening, a promotion, anything. We also do inter-member discounts. So you might get a 15% discount from being a member from my company. So it's a lot of incentives, but definitely with the promotion.
Absolutely. And we do ribbon cuttings as well in partnership with the villages. And so there's a lot of different benefits that we want to make sure that you're having. And as I said, I want to use my expertise and our board's expertise, and I'm glad you said that. Also, we have opportunities. We have 4 available opportunities to join our board. We want members from each village. Right now, we currently don't have a board member from University Park. So if there's a business owner or a trustee or anyone who wants to be a part of the Chamber's board, I welcome you to join the Chamber, send us your resume, and apply to be a board member, because we absolutely want input from every municipality that we serve.
Also, I'd like to say I wanted to say about the galas. They're really nice to go to. They have a lot of entertainment. They have fundraisers. I just love what they do. And I just thought, like I said, I'm on a lot of boards, a lot of things. The nearest was one.